Hi, I'm Robbie Knight with Denver Green Streets TV, and today we're honored to have Tom Plant with us. It's awfully nice to have you. Tom Plant is with the New Energy Economy, and that started after Bill Ritter left office, but that was his new project?
Right, so Governor Ritter, as you know, served until January of 2011, and after he left office, he went up to Colorado State University and started this Center for the New Energy Economy. And the purpose of the center is to try and take the kinds of things that we learned here in Colorado as we transitioned this new energy economy, as we grew this new energy economy here in Colorado, to take some of the things that we learned from that and bring it out to other states. And so we're talking with states all over the country about how they can use policy and executive leadership and legislative leadership and regulatory leadership to try and really change the conversation around energy towards a more clean energy future.
Really combining the strengths and energies of all of those things to get it moving, get momentum going?
Exactly, and you know, it really does take, it takes a push to get that rock moving. I mean, and once it starts to roll, as we've seen here in Colorado, once that starts to roll, then you start to attract more businesses, and when you attract more businesses, other companies are looking and saying, oh, that's the place to be, or what is it that's making them so good, and they start to look at your policy, so it brings attention to it. But really getting that moving, getting that push, that takes executive leadership, legislative leadership, local leadership, real engaged citizenry, as well as engaged people at the political level to make sure that they have the right policies in place.
Absolutely. Well, so what kind of changes have you seen so far, or what kind of changes would you like to see soon?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've seen here in Colorado, obviously, a real nurturing of new energy economy businesses. So we just saw the recent announcement about the new thin film solar plant that's going to be going in Colorado, one of the largest in the world. We also have the largest wind tower manufacturing plant in the world, and down in Pueblo, along with the blades and the whole wind turbine assembly. We've got companies that are internationally known for inverter technology that goes into the solar inverters that take the power from the solar panels and make it so that you can put it into the grid.
Sure.
That's we've got some of the largest companies in the world here doing that kind of work. So it's really sort of ballooned and blossomed and started rolling here. And so we took a look back at, well, what was it in Colorado that really pushed that? And during the Ritter administration, we really focused not only on programs to reach out to people, things to try and make it easier for people to engage in the new energy economy, but also what kinds of policies were standing in the way. I mean, the utility industry is one that has evolved over the last century.
Sure.
And it started primarily as this large centralized generation delivering power to power users, to people. And it's really been a unidirectional conversation, right? And that's so that model has grown, and we've operated under that model pretty much exclusively for the last 80 years. And now we're getting to this point where the utility industry is entering into, after everybody else, entering into the digital age. Right? And it's becoming not this one-way communication of we'll generate electricity and deliver it to your house, but a two-way communication between the demand side, which is when you turn on your washer and dryer, how your refrigerator is operating, how your air conditioner is operating, that demand piece communicating with the generation side and saying, I need power now, I don't need power now. That kind of two-way communication. And so rather than just say, we have this structure for utilities and this is what we're going to use, even if it's a 20th century construct, we're now at a place where we're saying, we've got these 21st century challenges that are very real. We know we have health impacts from the kind of energy that we've produced over the last century. We know we have climate impacts, environmental impacts, air quality, water quality, all these various different impacts that were unintended but have come from the way that we structured utilities in the past.
Sure.
So now, let's take a look at these 21st century challenges and try and address them with 21st century technology and 21st century solutions. So in addition to the policies that will advance energy, we're also looking at that whole utility construct. How can we if we were to create a utility today from scratch, what would it look like? It very likely wouldn't look like it did in 1935. It would look a little bit different. So that's one of the things that's really interesting and intriguing in the energy world, because really how we interact with our utility is such a key component of the emissions that we have as a society.
Sure.
And so as we're becoming more focused on those emissions, more focused on the impacts of those emissions, we need to look again at that business construct and how it operates, where our incentives are, how we align societal objectives with the utility objectives. And that's I think, one of the most exciting challenges that's happening right now, and one of the greatest challenges that we face in evaluating our new utility paradigm.
It is. It's a big challenge. Pretty much we're all going to need to be on board to make it work.
Right.
So how do we find out more about the new energy economy?
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, it's Colorado State University. So you can just Google Colorado State University Center for the New Energy Economy and find out about what is happening at CSU. We've been trying to convene a variety of different groups in these workshops to really do deep dives into different kinds of technologies and different policies and different industries to see how we shape this for the next century.
Okay, great. So just Google New Energy Economy.
Yep.
Okay, great. Tom Plant, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
It's
a
great
pleasure
to
be
have
here.
you. I'm Robbie Knight with Green Streets TV.